Hi, guys. It is me. It is I, Linda Morgan Smith. I am an artist and I live here in New Orleans. And I am very interested in spiritual growth and lots of different interesting topics about living life and such. So today, I guess I'm probably late, but better late than never, I guess. But I wanted to discuss the Doreen virtue conversion to fundamentalist Jesus. Um, First of all, she denounced her cards as being evil. And I was never really that connected to Doreen Virtue. I just never really was that interested in her. Um, but then after she denounced them, I ordered both of her cards, and I believe she denounced this one, the Ascended Masters, and she denounced this one, Angel Answers. Both beautiful decks with exquisite artwork on it. Just gorgeous. Well, first of all, I don't care what people believe, that's their business. But when their beliefs infringe on my liberties, on my constitutional rights, then we have a problem. I am a strong believer in the First Amendment. And I believe that the First Amendment is the foundation of all freedom, and that is the freedom of speech. So, Miss Virtue, if that's her real name, I don't know, she says she's denouncing her cards and her work is evil because she's become a fundamentalist Christian, not Christian, fundamentalist Christian. There's a big difference there. Fundamentalist Christians, like all people who have fundamentalist mentalities, go strictly by the book and they do not deviate from anything. And they take most things as literally instead of metaphorically or symbolically, like there was actually a real snake and it could talk and talked Eve into eating an apple, and that was the fall of man, okay, or mankind. But see, if you were like an English major or someone who liked to read, you would see the snake as a symbol perhaps of cunning, that it could have been a symbol of her own ego talking to her. I mean, it could be explored, and that's how we learn. We could either learn scientifically, mathematically, or metaphorically. And all texts have metaphors in them, which we dissect and we analyze and we think about what they could possibly mean. And this is how we get psychology and psychiatry and philosophy and artists and sculptors, because we come out of a metaphorical mind, okay, a spiritual mind, where we see things, as Carl Jung would say, Dr. Carl Jung, man and his symbols. And that's what tarot actually is. It's a form of symbolic communication. Now, as to whether they're supernatural, I don't even know what that means. If there's some sort of demon behind them operating them, well, that's got to come from your own imagination, because that's insane. That's not true, unless the demon is the person with the cards, a person with a demonic ego that's manipulating the reader, the seeker, the querent, to make money off of them or whatever. So that's an ethical issue. But as far as in my definition of what a tarot card is or an oracle card, is that we have a collective consciousness of symbols, and they show up in the form of coincidences and synchronicities, which was also, synchronicity was a term used by Dr. Carl Jung to explain coincidence, crazy coincidences. A lot of times when people lose a loved one, they will start to really experience heavy-duty synchronicities when they're in grief. and that, people start thinking, oh, I'm losing my mind, I feel like I hear this person talking to me, that person loved pizza, and then all of a sudden I woke up at night and I could smell pizza, and I came home and I was, craving a piece of chocolate cake all day, and I was going to go out and buy chocolate cake, and then my friend called me up and said she just baked a chocolate cake. That's a synchronicity. It's a universal, interconnected, we are all one sort of language. And when you read oracle or tarot cards, you are tapping into the subconscious mind, and it enables you to have a place of infinite possibilities so that you can figure out what's going on with yourself, because that's what's important, not who you're going to fall in love with, or does, Joe on the internet, does he really love me, or whatever. It's really about seeking to vibrate at a higher rate, and learn how to, crack the code of manifestation and vibration by learning about self. Know thyself. So, back to Doreen. Her Jesus isn't my Jesus. Fundamentalist Jesus is a creation of the King James Bible. And if you go back and you read the history of King James, he was absolutely paranoid about witchcraft and witches, and believed that witches tried to kill him on a ship when he was crossing, I think, a channel. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've read it. But anyway, came back and tried to find the witches that tried to kill him, and he had them tried for treason. And he really hated witches. And his mother was he grew up with a mother who had a paranoia of witchcraft and being manipulated by people through unseen means. Well, one of the problems with King James is that the Age of Enlightenment was coming on, and science was starting to really make a break into everyday life, and people were starting to move away from the witchcraft idea into the Age of Enlightenment. I think the last case that was tried was the Pendle witches, but don't quote me. I got to go back and look at my notes, where it was becoming out of fashion for anyone with any intelligence to even believe in witchcraft. And of course, witchcraft was nothing more than a hysteria over women and men who were healers, like in other cultures where they had shamans, where people had a knowledge of herbs. They had no understanding of science whatsoever, or very little, and this got politicized, as it always does, and a way to make money. You had to pay all these jailers and lawyers and court costs, and just like today. And believe me, believe you me, they would do this again if they had any grounds to do it whatsoever. They'd be putting people away for being gay. They'd be killing women for being witches again. I mean, it can go back so quickly, even as far as we've come, because of the First Amendment is the big threat to these people. They don't like it because they want all the power. They want to tell you what to think. They want to tell you what to read. They want to tell you how to live your life. And they sure are enemies of the Constitution. I don't care how many flags they wave or how many flags they have on their little lapels on the news. They do not like democracy. They like total control, and they like the military, and that's about as far as it goes. And their God that they've created in their own image. So that's my problem with Doreen Virtue and her brainwashing. I'm sorry, Doreen. That's just my opinion. You're a public figure, and that's how I feel about what you said. I also, to all the people who have purchased your product, to come out and say that it's an evil thing, probably you should go to court for that because you can't do that. It's just so crazy. So I'm going to wrap this rant up, and I'm going to just say that keep the First Amendment. Forget about tarot cards. Forget about the King James Jesus. Forget about Doreen virtue, and just be aware of your rights and the people who want to take them away from you. Namaste. Peace out. Goddess bless America. Talk to you later.